Hey everyone, Howie Fisher with Fisher's Flies. Thanks for checking in. Today I'm tying up the Micro Red Tag Pinky. This is a fly from the Fulling Mill catalog, 2025 catalog. For the hook today I'm using a Jig Force Short from Fulling Mill in size 24. And that is going to be paired with a slotted tungsten bead in light metallic size 2.4 millimeter. For the thread today, I'm using 70 denier ultra thread in black. You could also use Simplify Nano Silk if you'd like. So I'm just going to take a bunch of wraps right behind the bead, try and get this jammed up in there, and make sure that bead doesn't move around too much. The key on this, with such a small size, this is a pretty actually difficult fly with fitting so much material on such a small hook or such a short area. So you really want to make sure that you're not taking too many wraps to build up too much bulk on this fly. For the tail, I'm using 210 denier ultra thread in fluorescent red because I surprisingly don't have any glow bright in red, but anything that is floss or thread or glow bright that is fluorescent red is going to work here. For the wire, I'm using small red ultra wire, and I'm going to tie this in on the far side of the hook, far side being far side away from me. It's going to be obviously closest to you all, and the reason for this is I'm going to counter wrap it or wrap it underneath and over top, and this is to make sure that I don't pull the tail. If you tie it on the near side and wrap it over, sometimes you can pull the tail around the hook shank. So I'm going to take 3 wraps. Again, you're trying to fit a lot of material on a short area. And then I'm going to snip that tail. I like to snip my tails about the length or to the end of the bend of the hook. I'm using CDC feathers in black from Fulling Mill. With the fly this size, you should be able to get about 2 flies out of 1 feather, just depending on how you use your feather. But I'm going to put that in one of my Stonfo clips. I'm going to spin my bobbin counterclockwise, flatten my thread out, and then use a bodkin to split my thread. And then I'm going to insert my feather here. And I am going to just clean up the tail ends of that, make sure I'm not adding a bunch of extra bulk. And then I'm going to go ahead and spin my bobbin clockwise again to cord up my thread and close that dubbing loop. And once that is done, then I'm just going to start taking wraps forward. And with each wrap, I'm going to brush these fibers back, make sure nothing's caught. And the last step here is I'm using Tactical Microflash dubbing in UV purple from Fulling Mill. This is a really cool color. It's got a handful of colors in it, actually. So it's got purple, it's got some pink, it's also got some blue in it, and is going to work as a hot spot here, as well as some added flash. But there you have it. I'm going to whip finish, throw some UV resin on here to make sure those thread wraps don't go anywhere, and fish it. But this is the first episode in a new series I'm doing where I am picking a random fly off of a random page out of the Fulling Mill catalog. So if you'd like to submit some numbers for me to tie a fly, feel free to do so in the comment section of this video. The pages are 1 to about 85, and there's about 25 flies on a page. Thanks for checking in.